Hi, everybody. It's Lisa from Sweet and Sassy Treasures. I am so glad you're here today. We are going to use one of the new AB Studios rice paper that I got in recently. Today, I'm going to be listing in my store. Actually, they're already there. 14 additional papers. I wanted to add fewer at a time so it wasn't so overwhelming. So I'm trying to categorize them in a way that makes sense for me. Just want to make sure it's just me. I'm still a little under the weather. It's just a cold, just a spring cold, I think is what I have. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to show you the papers when we have dry time. But today I'm using one of the large oval blanks and this rice paper that I absolutely love. Hi, Linda. Hi, Vincetta. Hi, Mary. Hi, Tracy. And I think I call this bird on black background, but the number is 91. You can't search by, actually, let me put it in as 091 because then it's searchable. But I'm pretty sure it's bird with black background. But let me fix that right now. And I will add it to this week's live products. Let's see. So that's saved. I didn't put anything in this week's live products yet, so a little tardy with that. Okay, so I got that in there, and I think it's absolutely stunning. And I knew exactly what I wanted to do with this when I got this paper. So what's going to be fun is we're also going to look at what do I do when there's excess room, right? And you've got some more background. So let me flip my camera over and get started. So I'm going to figure out exactly how much of the background I want to mess around with. And then where is the best place to put it? You know, does it make more sense to run this all the way to the bottom and do all the filler at the top, which usually the answer to that would be no. I'm just trimming off this excess, but I'll be using a brush with water to actually cut the edges. But for that bulk part, it's just much easier to blend a torn edge. And I know that will be more in the middle. So I'll cut the rest of this that I think is going to end up being cut off. So when I set this down here, there's a good 2 inches that's not going to cover. But does it make sense to run it all down there? I wouldn't like that. It really pretty much is going to need to be centered. If I ran it all to the top, I would have to try and paint in more of this leaf area, which I wouldn't want to do. It's easier to paint in a background like we have at the top. Hi, Anna. Hi, Cheryl. It's just me. Save his tail feathers. Yeah, I would have to. See, again, it won't make sense because I'll have so much room over there. So I'm really going to have to center it to some extent. You got to kind of go with what they did. Just make sure it's straight. So I'm going to lose some of his tail feathers, but I'm okay with that. And then look on either side. Looks to be about balanced. And then I'm just going to take my finger and make an edge. So that's that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the background, and I'm trying to get rid of paint that I've had laying around. So I'm using a white, not that I can find a can opener. I'll just use a screwdriver. It's a cottage color. I'm just going to use that. You can use anything. It's just so that I have a brighter background. I have to get this off of here. And this is white linen. It's going to have to be stirred. If I would have realized this, I would have just gone up to my studio and filming right now. So a lot of my supplies are in my den where I film. And that's where my white swan paint is. That should be good. And I can use a big brush. That's a big area to cover. So this is a dark background, and you could certainly make the argument for using, not using white. It's going to brighten it. So if that's something that you don't want, then you could go, with a gray. There we go. I have to make sure I give that a good shake. And we'll try that. The arch looks diamond shaped. Oh, it's because of my camera's pretty flat. So what I think I'm going to do is gold here, and then the color of this out here, which I think is going to be really pretty. That's what my plan is. Oh, Monty, don't you hate that? I have the computer that I use here where I'm going live is very, very glitchy. Well, I called it Black Background Bird. It's so old, but it is. Paint splatter all over it, and I don't want to bring another one, and do the same thing. So you'll see I don't have good coverage, and I'm okay with that. Because of the background color. I'll lay it on there and see what I think. I don't have big pug medium handy. I've got my gel medium, so I'm going to end up using that. Oh. I hope everybody is doing well today. Oh, I should mention Mother's Time. Today is the last day to register. I'm nearly sold out. These are small groups, you guys, for the workshop that's starting next Wednesday. Workshop with Kit. The information is on my site. I'm going to tweak it a little bit. There's always things that I notice that I like to do differently. It's pretty dry now. So the cost of that workshop with Kit is $49. And today's the last day I could probably get them shipped out for you to get them in time. So now I'm going to take a smaller brush, get it wet, and then go over the paper where the curve is. And chances are it'll be a little bit big. And I'd rather have that. I can trim it after. And usually when you tear it like this, it doesn't cut into the rest of the paper. It kind of stops it where you get away from a weak point. The water just weakens the paper enough where you can tear it. Isn't that a beautiful bird? Hey, Sandy, it's just me. It is a beautiful day. But of course, we return to winter here. And it doesn't matter to me that that's torn irregularly. I'm going to have to trim that down there. Just a little. Okay, let's test this out. Now remember, I know that I'm going to be long in a couple of spots. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to do some painting before. Sorry, I gotta get a paper plate. Before I go in and decoupage. Oh, I want to get black under that gold that I'm going to be using. This should be a good brush. So I'm going to paint that on here first. Oops. You can see why I got a little bit on that white part, which is why I'm doing it now. It's easier than doing it after the paper's on there. Now I'm using a new paint color today called Abyss. I absolutely love it, but I've never used it before, so I'm not positive if what's in my brain is actually going to come to fruition or not. So the other thing I want is that edge to be black. Oh, we had storms tonight. I hate this time of year because of rain, and it's just going to get flashbacks of my sub pump failure. Go. So I don't care that I've got a little bit of black in there. That's going to be totally fine. And I may leave that black and not bring the gold in there. This is going to be gold for sure. I wonder if, just for, in case I want to do it, I'm going to paint this black as well. I may go over it with the Abyss. But it's easier to do it now. Just in case. There we go. I'm good with that. Let's dry this. I just always remember the one April we got like 12 inches of snow. I was a senior in high school, so it was a long time ago. But I'll never forget it. April. We got 2 snow days. That was good. I wonder if I can grab my Bake Pals medium. Oh, here it is. With rice paper, I definitely prefer something thinner. That should be good. So again, we're not going to worry about any paper that's excess or whatever. And I'm going to use this over the top too. I don't want to rub too much because you can see I'm getting some pilling. So it will smooth out with this. So it is a little reactive to that blue cloth. Which isn't, well, I guess I'm not used to working on dark backgrounds. Maybe that is normal. I don't know. So I want to make sure I get in those edges because I'm going to go in and trim those. I think you can make a good argument for going darker underneath this. I'm still going to love it, but I might have liked it a little bit darker for the background coming through. When you cut those corners, you want to make sure that you have a sharp blade and that it's dry, or you can easily tear your paper. So remember that black is going to be gold, and then abyss is going to be out here. That's where I rubbed that paper. I have a loop on my heat gun so I can hang it from a nail, but it's shortened the cord significantly. I have to do a, find a, what do you call those? Something tie. Zip tie. Zip tie? Zip tie, okay. Make sure that's dry. Okay. So I'm going to let that sit a little bit. It would have, I mean, if you really wanted to be picky, you could kind of figure it out and do that area lighter. It's trade-offs, but I'm going to pull some of the abyss in there and darken that up, so I'm not worried about that. And when it comes all together, maybe it will literally come all together. So while that's setting up, I'm going to show you the new rice papers real quickly. We are going to go quick. I'm going to not do my narrative. So that paper is Black Background Bird, number 091. And then this one, I think, is Cream Background Bird. I think I showed these last week, but never listed them. And that's 94 right now. I didn't add a 0 on there. So there's that one. Then I've got, kind of have an order here. Love this. Circus Elephant. Look at the colors. Circus Elephant. 427. Then I have a Circus Girl. 713. Circus Girl. 713. And then I have cream and turquoise checkerboard, I think I call it. It's 6728. I love this paper. 6728. Cream and blue checkerboard. Romantic wallpaper. 1822. Romantic wallpaper. 1822. Let me just set that on my lap. Love these two backgrounds. This one is 6492. Old Labels 1 and 2. I call them Old Labels 1 and 2. Look at that. So good. That's 6492. Then this one is 6491. One's Old Labels 1 and the other one's Old Labels 2. Kind of keeping on that junk journal theme, background theme. Cream and black newsprint. So you can see the newsprint back there. Cream and black newsprint. And then this one, I can't remember what I called it because I changed the names so many times. That is 251. This one's 251. So the cream and blue checks will go with this set of 4. This is 558. Isn't that beautiful? Leaves and shiplap. 558. Then I hope these are magnolias because that's what I call them. 555. This is Farmhouse 4-pack maybe, but it's 554. So you've got the combo of the shiplap and other farmhouse elements. Told you I was going fast. And then this is 551. This really pretty floral background. 551. So those are the papers that I've listed. And that cream and blue check goes so well with those. All right. Now what I want to do, I need to dry this just a little bit more. I gotta fix it. There we go. So I'm hoping we're going to get a nice, clean cut. Not sure how sharp this blade is. And that's going to tear a little bit because there's a thread there. That's a pretty good blade I've got right here. So that's not attached very well. It didn't make good contact in that corner. So see how that's kind of tearing? And you would just make sure that it was more dry. And that's not attached real well either. Note to self. Just going to take scissors and trim this off since it's not attached. Get that on there. Okay. I'm going to hit that with the dryer. Yeah, the blues are really pretty. And then I'm going to move on to the other sections while I'm letting that set up a little bit. I do want to use a sealer on here. See what I can grab real quick. This might have to be Big Top. That's what's sitting right here. Just want to get one more coat over this. Come on, baby. This brings me back to the days where this used to be a regular thing where I could never get anything open. And then I switched to the FIFO bottles. Son of a beehive. Hold on, you guys, cover your ears. No matter what I do, this puppy won't budge. I think it's good. I just want to make sure I'm able to blend. And so sealer is going to be key. And it's blending and dabbing a little bit. Good now. It's so funny. I look at this, you guys, and it's like, how is this ever going to come together? Not happy about that white right there, but I think they'll all be okay. We're going to start with the abyss on the outside. And this is the color. It's like deep, deep, deep purple. So pretty. Right now, I'm going to assume that I'm leaving that inside edge black. Coverage is just amazing on this paint. May end up using some Crackle. I realize you can't see me at this edge. It's not on camera. I will use black chiffon over this. So that's that color. I think I'm going to leave that black. We'll see whether it needs to be touched up. I'm going to paint the outside in the abyss. All right. Move this over to my right hand. Now you can kind of see how it's starting to come together. So I definitely think a crackle on that paper would be good because of me running that blue shop cloth over the top. You could do this on a tray. It would be really pretty. Hit this with a dryer. So the black chiffon is going to intensify it. Just smoothing out whatever paint might have lifted out along that edge. Hi, Barry. So I'm going to want to mix some gray in with the abyss. I'm thinking, but so there's a color called Carbon. I'm going to grab. And we're looking at how to do this with all-in-ones. I think this is the right color right here. These have crap on the edge. There we go. You could do some texture medium if you wanted. Lots of possibilities. Oh, that's not going to help me. Use this one. So I'm going to put some of the abyss on my plate. And I have to work a little more quickly than I would. And then some carbon. Which is a gorgeous color. And then I need a baby wipe. All right, here we go. So over here, I think it's more carbon. So I'm going to bring this, and you want to bring it into the paper as well. You don't want to just leave it on the side. And then you wipe it when it's on the paper to get that to blend. So I'm going to pull a little bit of the abyss in there too. Same brush. Remember, I used an all-in-one for the background, which right now is not feeling like that was the best idea. And then just dab onto the paper. Use your finger to blend it in. I'm going to go back and do a little bit more of the carbon. I'm going to have to let that dry. Now we'll do the same thing down here. Carbon first. Get a little bit of the abyss on there. Pull it up in. Use my finger. Blend. This is a big section over here. And that's more purple. So I'm going to go in with the abyss first. Pull that in. We're getting a lot of glare, so see if I can get rid of it. It needs more gray. Dabbing. When it dries, there you can see better now how that's blending. Oh, that looks so cool. And I could take my baby wipe just because I've got a little bit of a rough edge there. I don't want to rub too hard. Bring it onto my paper. I'm going to go here now. And that's kind of, this is kind of weird because of, let's see what I get. That, you know, the pulling back from where I ran my shop cloth. Almost wanting to darken that up a little bit. So dry brushing. right onto that paper. Pull it around. Blend that in. Lightly rubbing. It looks really cool. So I'm not getting, see the drastic differences that you like on camera? That's not what it looks like in real life. I have to dry these and then figure out what colors to pull in to even it out. That should be good. Here I need more of that carbon color. Just dabbing. You know, don't be afraid to pull that into your paper. That looks good. Again, you guys can see that line, and in person, you can't see that. Doing another coat over that. So I'm just feathering that in to make it look like it's just kind of gradually going into the piece. Yeah, that looks good. I'm just lightly pulling some texture in under there. Okay. Shoving those sealers into the caps. I sure hope I'm making the right call painting that gold, you guys. So crackling this will make it all cohesive as well. I just have a little smidgen of a spot right here that technically is the flowers. There we go. Hey, Becky. Hi, Tracy. AB Studios. Okay, now I'm going to put the gold there, which I'm hoping is a good call. I don't really know. We'll see. It's only paint. I always say it's not the paint that's the problem, it's the time. Okay, pale gold metallic. I almost used antique gold. It's a little bit more yellow. I think I could have used bronze too. How wide is that? I have to grab the right brush. Here. Okay, I'm trying to leave that step down black. In both spots. I feel like you just get instant artwork fairly easily. Could have done this with the large arched blank. Would have been easier, less piecing in, I think. I didn't try it, but that would be my guess. So I'm just pulling that because I don't want to get that inside edge gold either. Right now I'm thinking I want to leave that black. It's actually looking really good. I love gold over black too. Some people put it over red. I got a little gold right there. I'm not going to worry about that. That's easily touched up. And I have my brush on a little bit of an angle is what the issue is. So this is pale gold metallic. It has a little bit more of a antiqued look to it. I thought about using antique gold, which is more yellow, which is really, I mean, it's a stretch. It's not, you wouldn't look at it and think yellow, but if I had to compare the two. So that is Abyss. I got some gold flecks on there. I think I'm happy with my decision to leave that black and leave that black. Oops. Oh yeah, rich dark brown. Right, let me dry this. I'm going to go get my Crackle. I'm going to use Pentart Fine Line Crackle, which means I have to use my black chiffon first. So Paint Couture has a Crackle too. For this project, I'm going to prefer the Fine Line Crackle. The problem with the Fine Line Crackle is you can only age it using solvent-based products. Black chiffon is water-based. So I have to use that first. Or what it does is it dissolves the Crackle. Okay, so I'm going to use that over the top. Wish you could see what it's doing. I'm also going to go in here to get that lip and over the gold. I'm actually going to go in here as well. I realize that that means it's going to get on my image a little. Look at the difference. Just makes it so much richer. I got to do the other side. Just want to make sure I didn't leave anything that's like puddling. Now we're good. So there's part one. No, I'm not going to be able to get that one open. Well, what's nice is really using paint couture products with paint couture products. I'm going to be bringing in some of the chalk paints in some of the common colors, and the chalk paints over there all-in-one looks really good too. All right, I'm going to use a wider brush here. You want to make sure when you're applying your Crackle that you get good even coverage. And that's one of the things I like about component one being white. You can really see where it goes. If there isn't component one down, you won't get cracking in that spot, which is why you want to really make sure you've got that even coverage. I really like to use a cross-hatch pattern. Most important thing with fine line Crackle is really realizing you have to use solvent-based products. So that means it has to be smelly. If it's not smelly, it's not going to be solvent-based. You know, think clean up with mineral spirits or the like. So that is component one. Why am I worrying about that? Pull that off. Now I'm going to dry this. And it takes a while. You might just want to wait. I see I've lost a lot of viewers. I don't blame you. Right now I'm not planning on crackling this edge. If I did, I would probably use the Crackle stamp. But I will post pictures. We're running a little bit long when it's done. And if you want to watch the process, I'll just keep going on here. You don't want to hold your heat on too close because it will cause bubbling. And it's totally okay and good to let it dry naturally. So just keep that air moving. So thanks for tuning in. Take me probably 10 minutes to finish this up. I just don't want to finish it off camera in case this is the first time anybody's seeing something like this. So I hope you got to see the rice paper. They're already on my site. The Simpler Times workshop closes today. I just have really a couple of spots left. That starts next Wednesday. We're getting pretty dry here. Now, when you're going Crackle on a light background, you can go with white wax. Looks good. I'm not positive what I'm going to use yet. I'm going to go in with component 2, even though it's not totally dry yet. That just means those spots maybe won't crack. So I got a spot there that's kind of heavy. And I'm going to use a softer brush for this step because I really like to lay it down. Again, you want to make sure that you've got good coverage. And that can be hard to see, especially on a darker project like this. The thinner you put it on, the finer your cracks are. You don't want to drag your brush. Pentart has a universal step 1 because you'll go through more step 2 than step 1. I can't see where that stopped. So I would suggest having more of a plan than I had of where to start. Tip it. The light help me up here. Okay. Now we're going to try this. Oh, I can see where. Let the light help you. You can see spots where you didn't get it thick enough. Okay. You could use a resin over this, would be really pretty. You get very much the look that I'm getting now. You can see it without the glare. There you go. So this takes about 2 to 3 minutes. You don't want to be too close. If you let it dry on its own, oftentimes you won't see cracks until you heat it up. But even when they start to appear, they're hard to see because they're fine lines. So you let the light work with you, tip it. So far I'm not seeing any. It's a little soon. It's so fun once you start seeing them. I can see it's definitely drying. So what happens is that second coat shrinks, and that's what causes the cracks. It just pulls against itself. Oh, nope, false line. Thought I saw one. I'm hoping to have a firm date for my retreat. I have to get the phone number from Pam. Starting to get some cracks down there. I'm a good 6 to 8 inches away from this. You can't be impatient. It's so cool where it starts cracking. All along that outside edge, I'm getting cracks. And that would be where it's thinnest. So that's up in the middle, I'm getting them now too. Just got to tip it. I can't tell if those are cracks or, oh yeah, I got some great cracking on the outside. Nice and the perfect size. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to use white wax with this, is what I'm thinking. But I'm going to want it to cool before I go in with the white wax. Beautiful. Looking good. I think it's pretty well cracked. I'm going to see if there's a way I can tip this so you guys can see. Can you, let the light play with it? See, by that flower. Looks so good. So white paste is going to make it look like dust. I could try This is Pentart's patina that I've never tried. It is smelly, so I could try that. It's got beautiful cracking, just beautiful. It's pretty good too. I've never used it before, but it's definitely, it's going to want to be a brush that I'm not going to mind throwing away. You know what? I'm going to use a sponge brush, which kind of stinks because you're going to, oh, ugh. You're going to lose a lot of product with a sponge brush. Ugh. I'll just use this one. Okay, this is smelly. Never used this before. I'm not seeing it really going in the cracks. I'm not really impressed with this. I'll keep going just because I started, but I'm not seeing the cracks. You know, maybe I'm using it wrong. So I'll go and I'll use the white wax. Oh, that doesn't do anything for me except for make me smelly. Ugh. I could be using it wrong. Gold mica powder. Yes, gold mica powder would work. I'm going to use white wax right now just because. So here's white wax. It'll mix in with that patina and it'll be kind of amberish. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, get in there. That stuff is all over my hands. There we go. Can you see them? Wherever you want them to be more prominent, scrub that wax in. Right here. Oh, it looks so good. You know, maybe I want it heavier around the outside. No, I kind of like that look. It looks older. I'm going to get a cloth. And you could leave it just like this. Can you see the cracks? You can on the outside for sure. I hate the glare. So the last thing I'm going to do, I'll throw that brush away. Oh, you know what? No, hold on. Wait a second. Let's try some of this antique paste. Let's see. Grab a smaller brush. Let's try this is antique gold. It's this glare that's causing problems. So let's see. Oh, you can't see it. That's disappointing. It looks really cool. So I'm just kind of brushing that in. Let's see. If I hold it like this. You can see them now, I think. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to do. Is the gloss varnish. I'm going to have to clean up this edge up here a little bit. Something like that stuff. So here's clear varnish. Oh, this better be solvent paste. Solvent paste, yes. Got to be careful because they have a water based as well. So this is the solvent paste. It is smelly. Now, if you're like me and you thought, I didn't think you could go over wax, you can. I'll never be able to get good pictures of this either, which will be disappointing. I gotta pick it up and tilt it. Looks like I got everything. It looks so cool. And again, I do throw this brush out that I use with this. I don't clean this stuff. You need like mineral spirits. I don't know where mine is. But I will post pictures. I think it would be cool. I got this paste out. Oh, what was I using? Where's the brush? This one right here. I got this paste out. Just going to go right along this outside edge. Get it a little heavier in some spots. Just so you can see what I'm doing. Just pulling that gold on both edges so that doesn't look so brand spanking new. Got tasting that sealer. Just kind of see how much that you want on there. I'm super happy with this. I think it's so pretty. You know, then just decide how much heavier you want that. Wow, that looks really good. All right, I am done, you guys. I can't wait to get a picture of it. I'll show you the aging. So this is, I should mention that this was a damaged oval that I got replaced. So that's why that crack's in there. But I like that. I like the story that that tells. You can see the cracks. You know, maybe I'll do that wax all around that outside edge. I probably will. Isn't that so fun? So fun. Thanks, you guys, for being here. I appreciate you. Bye, everybody.